Hey, good morning ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited because I'm going to review this 2022 Toyota GR86. This is a Japan Recon spec and it is called the RZ, basically a high spec variant. Now in Recon market there's actually two variants of the GR86 on sale. One, the base variant being the SZ, and this one, the top spec, is called the RZ. Okay, they have manual and automatic transmission choices. Now before I go through the car, I want to talk about the history for the name 86. If you guys watched the movie called Initial D, you will know that the 86 name is very popular after this movie came out. But that is the old generation, that is called the AE86, which is based on the rear-wheel drive Corolla. But this right here, the new 86, is called the GR86, which means that this car is tuned by Gazoo Racing Development, and this car are also in collaboration with Subaru. Okay, if you don't know that the previous gen is called the GT86, it's also a co-developed product between Toyota and Subaru. Okay, that is produced between 2012 to around 2018-2019. This car first launched in 2022. Okay, as you can see, compared to the previous gen GT86, the overall styling of this car has been improved to a more mature, more handsome, as well as much more sporty in my opinion. It does give me a bit of vibes of Continental sports car. And if you know that the 86, when it first came out, it is aimed to target the affordable sports car segment, which means that for first timers who are going through a sports car, they want something that is front engine and they want to be rear wheel driven as well as manual transmission or auto, they will go for the GT86, because the asking price for the GT86 when it's new is rather affordable. But this one, actually Toyota Malaysia actually officially brought in the GR86, but the prices is rather expensive. It's around 295,000 to 300,000 for the manual or automatic. But in the Recon market, the model I'm reviewing right here, the RZ 2.4, is selling for 188 only. That's why you can see some people will prefer to go for a Recon spec GR86 or a Subaru BRZ. Okay, enough of the history. Now let's go through the car. But before I go through the exterior and interior, I would like to show you the engine, which is the biggest change of this car. Okay, the bonnet release is right here. Alright, this is the new engine coming from Subaru and Toyota's collaboration. Okay, this is called the FA24. It's a 2400cc, or what you call it, 2.4 liter NA Boxer 4. Okay, there's very interesting story to tell with this engine. When they want to develop the GT86, Toyota and Subaru actually collaborated to develop this Boxer engine. As you can see, the names right here says Toyota D4S Boxer Subaru, which means that Toyota actually provides the direct injection system technology to be injected into Subaru's Boxer 4. Because in the history, Toyota doesn't have any car that runs on a Boxer engine. What is the advantages of a Boxer engine is the low center of gravity. As you can see, the engine actually aligns with the suspension mounts right here. So it actually gives you a very low center of gravity. And because it's a Boxer engine, you can see the layout is also very interesting. And this is the oil filter. And this car runs on Subaru's global platform, otherwise known as SGP. Don't be surprised that the Toyota GR86 is using a Subaru platform, because these two products are actually identical. Just that Toyota actually makes a little bit changes into the rear to make it a bit heel happy. As you can see, you can have some anti-roll bars to improve the handling. And because this runs on the new SGP platform, the body torsion rigidity has been increased by 50%, which is a lot. And the horsepower of this engine are also increased from the previous gen GT86 is just 200 horsepower and 205 Newton meters of torque. Because Subaru and Toyota has been increased the bore and stroke. Back then it's 86 mm times 86. Now it's 94 mm for the bore and stroke remains 86. That's why this car also gives you a better low-end torque compared to the previous gen GT86. And right here you can see the gearbox. This runs on a 6-speed auto, or if you want manual, you can get the 6-speed manual transmission as well. Alright, now let's go through the exterior styling. As you can see, this headlight has been moved from the previous gen, a very slim, very long headlights, to this very nice shape. It actually gives me a bit of vibes of the Jaguar F-Type. It actually looks pretty nice, and you get LED protected headlights with daytime running lights. Okay, this is some very fancy feature, but in my opinion, I kind of prefer the looks of the GR86 as compared to the Subaru BRZ. Is the under bumper section is actually more tidy, and it has the GR family design, which is a bit of square in terms of the grille right there, and there's a GR badging because this car is tuned by GR. The previous gen is called GT86. And at the side profile, I think this is the best angle to admire the GR86. Okay, the dimension wise has been increased by quite significant compared to the previous gen GT86. And this rim looks pretty nice. It's an 80-inch setup, 225/40 R18, and this rim are also developed by BBS, which is similar to the Toyota GR Yaris. And you get twin port calipers and the brake discs. The brake discs are not those got lubang type like the performance car, but this is something that you can mod aftermarket, because in the end of the day, people who buy GR86 or Subaru BRZ, they tend to modify their car to increase power and handling. But at the same time, you also lose the balance of this car. It's almost 50-50 weight distribution. Front is 53, back is 47. This being a two-door sports car, you get a frameless doors and you get keyless entry right there. And to reduce the weight of this car, the bonnet, the roof and the rear, they actually use a lot of aluminium parts so that the weight of this car is not more than 1.3 tons for the manual transmission. Auto, it maybe is 1,300, slightly more a bit, but in the end of the day, this is still a lightweight sports car for you to have fun. And right here you get the LED tail lights with the LED signal indicators. Okay, the rear looks pretty nice, although when it first came out, some of it don't like this look, some of it prefer the more aggressive looking from the GT86. But after look at it for quite some time, this actually looks pretty mature. And as you can see, there's a ducktail spoiler and there's a reverse cam integrated right here. And the Toyota logo, and this button is to pop open the hood. And the exhaust tips are pretty big as well, one fist and dual exits. It has all the sports car kind of proportion. And here's the fuel cap. Now, what do you think about the looks of this car? Personally, I think it has been grown up from the previous gen GT86. Now, without further ado, let's go into the interior of this car. Okay, this being the RZ, basically a top spec variant. You can see the seat upholstery are also different. You get the combination of leather and some Alcantara finishing and some red linings to increase the sportiness of this car. This being a sports car, of course, it has to be manually adjusted because this saves some weight. And to go into back seat, you can just pull this lever and go in, but the seat is rather small. It's perfect for baby because as you can see at the back, you can mount the child seats. As you can see, the center of gravity is very low and the car itself is low, so when you get inside the car, you need to take note. Well, it's pretty hot up there. Now, let us start the car. Here's the digital meter. Okay, I'll put into sport mode first and put your foot on the brake and hit the start button. let's hear the exhaust note. Sounds good, right? Although it's just a Boxer 4. Okay, now let's close the door. Okay, this is the interior of the new generation 86, or we call it GR86. The design definitely has been improved over the previous generation. Now let's slowly explore. Let's start with the doors. Obviously the materials, don't expect soft touch because they need to save some weight to give you a more driving experience. But this part is still well thought of. They're wrapped in some very nice Alcantara finishing. This part is leather. This part is soft leather as well, and some stitching. So when you rest your hands right here during some long journey trips, it is actually quite comfy. Windows, the switches are very familiar because these switches are taken from Subaru. Okay, if you own Subaru, you'll find this switch very familiar, and you get automatic windows in both directions. And the window lock, and here is to pop open the boot. Okay, and the footwell is very spacious, and this is wrapped in red, something like Honda's Type R. And this being automatic, of course, it just have 2 pedals and it's finished in aluminium type, which gives you a bit more sportiness. And this being a performance car, of course, the RPM has to be in the center. And when you go back to normal mode, you go back to this color, you go into sport, you highlight the red accents at the RPM. And this car has a special feature which is called a track mode, which means you press it, you press and hold, you switch to this very nice looking RPM. And track, they will also off the traction control for you to have a little bit more fun. But make no mistake, this is a very simple dials and it's very easy to use as well. Okay, you can use the right switch to toggle between the G meters right here and your eyesight, which is the Subaru version of the ADAS system. You can turn on and off. Okay, there's a lot of things for you to play with. Because this is a Japan spec car, obviously it's finished in Japan wording. And here you get a lane keep assist, and this being a 6-speed auto, you get the pedal shifter for you to play with. And the steering wheel is the same carryover from the previous GT86, and because this is a sports car, so the steering wheel is a bit more firm than your usual NPC car. And you get a cruise control stop right here. And because this is a Japan spec car, signals on the right, but the operation is something like the F30-328, which means you goes down, it will move back to the original position. To cancel it, it just goes up slightly. And you get automatic headlights. And wiper you do not have automatic. Okay, it's a sports car in the end of the day. Steering wheel, of course, you can adjust tilt and telescopic. And the top part is very nice Alcantara. Okay, everything is usable. Okay, not a lot of flair, but it's definitely enough for your daily use or your weekend drives. And this screen is also an afterthought because in Japan they will have a separate touchscreen head unit, and this is the system that is installed in Malaysia, so we can receive Malaysia's FM channel. Down here the dials are also improved in terms of the quality and the tactile feeling. And good thing is it comes with dual zone climate. Okay, and this is to adjust your fan speed. And because this is a GR86, so we have a GR dedicated start stop button. And these are your toggle switch, front defrost, rear defrost. Okay, all this thing is pretty usual. And let's move to the gearbox. This is using an iSyn 6-speed automatic, but it's tuned to be more sporty oriented. Okay, operation is just like any other Toyota vehicle. It's a gated shift. To put into manual, push all the way to the right. And you can use the pedal shifter to up and down shift, or you push the lever to give you a bit more manual shifting feel. Auto has an advantage on driving in traffic jam paired with the adaptive cruise control. So right here is a mechanical handbrake, which means you can do some J-turns or drift, which is 86 natural habitat because it's a front engine rear-wheel drive car. And you get some driving modes, pretty usual to turn off your traction control. Okay, and here's the seat heater, which you do not use in Malaysia weather, provided if you go to Genting and it's very cold. Glove box is rather small, but it's usable. The seat, I would say, is pretty nice and it holds my body quite well, and it's very chunky as well. Okay, unlike usual sports car seat, this seat is actually very comfortable, and this part actually grips you quite well because in the end of the day, this is felt or fabric. Okay, they have more friction than your leather. Roof lining is black. Sun visor, venting mirror rear light. Okay, manual dimming rear view mirror. And this cup holder can hold a big bottle, which is nice. Even at the side as well. Okay, perfect. And this is the glove box. You get 2 USB Type A and 2 cup holders to put your phones. Okay, this is some nice touch. Finally, it has an armrest. The GT86 doesn't come with it. And here's the rear look, and you can also fold down the seats by one piece if you want to load more items at the boot, which I'll show you later. Okay, overall, what you think about the interior? The interior is definitely driver centric. Okay, and you sit pretty low as well. Okay, I adjusted to the lowest position. This is my eye level. It's basically driving a very low slung supercar or sports car. Okay, and also the air comment's design looks pretty good as well. Okay, now let's take a look at the boot. Like I mentioned, you just press a button right here to reveal the boot. Okay, obviously it doesn't come with a power boot. In the Malaysian spec GR86, they actually have a spare tire which will eat into the boot space. But in the Recon spec, this model doesn't come with it. So this is my bag. I can push all the way back. Okay, it's very usable. Down here you get some tire repair kit to replace the spare tire. Okay, I would say practicality wise, this car runs pretty well. And if you want a daily, it's an automatic, so obviously it's not hard. Just that you need to take note on the bumps. Sometimes a little bit too tall, it may scrape your bumpers. Now this ends my review of this 2022 Toyota GR86 RZ edition. What do you think about this car? In this angle, it looks pretty handsome, right? So if you have any comments regarding this car, you can comment down below and let me know what you think about the GR86. Signing off right now. Be sure to subscribe my channel, like and share my videos if you like this kind of walk around series. I'll definitely take it for a test drive if I've gotten the chance to, because this car has not been registered yet. So be sure to stay tuned if I get to test drive this car. Alright, signing off. Cheers.